Hey, what's up, y'all? Oh, there's a fly. Oh, bro, I hate when flies get in here. Anyways, why tariffs won't bring back manufacturing jobs? Krugman, or whatever. Krugman, whatever. All right, let's get it. Let's go.
Starting the day I take the oath of office,
prices
down, and we will make America affordable again.
Yes.
The big promise by
the Great White Hope
was that he was going to bring down prices and make America affordable again, and everything he's done is the opposite of that. So, if you were asking, imported goods are going up in price, and we see a lot more than that of that. But vegetables are going up in price, and a little bit of that is tariffs, but a lot of that is farm workers are making themselves scarce because they're afraid that ICE will pick them up. If we're worried about housing costs, a lot of them.
But what does that got to do with tariffs? Let's talk.
Ooh, in particular,
you got to stop.
The actual physical jobs, the guys actually up there on the roof, tend to be immigrants. Many of them undocumented, and even the ones who are legal are afraid.
Ultimately, I think what really matters is the standard of living.
Yeah.
For Americans across the board. What are we doing to the standard of living?
Okay.
Are we improving it, or are we actually turning it down?
Oh, no, this is clearly all negative for the standard of living.
Okay, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. This isn't fair. Okay. Trump is trying to initiate these tariffs, right? Because he believes in this. He believes in William McKinley. And William McKinley was in if you guys know anything about William McKinley, it was in 1890, somewhere around there, right? It was 1890. William McKinley used tariffs to actually boost the economy, and the economy grew to a significant rate under William McKinley. There was so much money under William McKinley that literally they didn't even know what the fuck to do with the money, right? Saying all that to say, the conversation that economists are having today is, can tariffs be beneficial right now with how much woven, how woven we are with economics. So for example, really good example. If we're going to tariff Canada, right? And you guys know this, everybody knows this, but I'm explaining it for the people who don't understand. If we're going to tariff Canada on cars, right? We have to tariff each part of the car, part by part by part by part. That could lead to economic disaster, or it could lead to an economic boom. We don't really fucking know. Economics is really hard to test. So when somebody comes along and says, "Oh, him initiating tariffs is causing these problems, this problem," yeah, in the beginning of it, yes, any new economic policy, whether it comes from the Democrats or whether it comes from the Republicans, is always going to have a negative effect on the economy because people are scared of what it's going to do. However, though, in the long term, would it be effective? Probably. It would open doors for Americans to be able to go over to other countries and place their businesses in other countries, because these tariffs are sometimes too expensive for businesses to be able to go over to other countries. So it's not fair that they're kind of like, oh, because it's messing up at the very beginning. And he's an economist, he knows better. That it's like, oh, in the long term, this might suck. No. It might actually be good in the long term. We don't know. But at the same time, what it does to our relationships with other countries is the question, right? That's it. Canadians hate us right now. So that's the big conversation, right? That's the big conversation. Like, I've studied enough on economics to understand, like, some of these economists, you can tell that they lean on the left, or you can tell when they lean on the right, and that sucks. This shouldn't be that type of conversation. What it should be is, will this be beneficial in the long term? And is there any metric that we can determine on whether or not it can be beneficial in the long term? And if we figure out long term it is, then shut the fuck up and let's do it. If we finish and take the minor bruises right now to make things better for the future. But if it's not, then we need to discuss. Like, we need to get Flamin' Hot Cheeto up out of there, and we need to find some way to stop him from being able to pass tariffs. But point blank period, like, I don't think this is fair. And I'm a fair human. You know what I'm saying? I'm fair. But let's hear what you got to say, because it may be get a little deeper.
When you put a tariff on, one way of putting it, the sort of standard economist, Econ 101 thing is, you're taking things that we do relatively badly and other countries do relatively well, and we're insisting that those things be done here, which raises costs, reduces our standard of living. If we look at immigration policies, the really important thing about immigration in America is that the immigrants do not do the same jobs that native-born Americans do. They're very concentrated in a limited number of industries and occupations, which are very much complementary to the jobs that native-born Americans do. And by driving out the immigrants, we are reducing the productivity, reducing ultimately the living standard of the native-born workers.
God damn it. I'm gonna let this play while it does this. God damn it, I'm starting to sound like a Republican. Dude, hold on.
Trump tariffs are a part of...
No, because they're going to go on a different topic. Do you notice, this is the part, of course, we need to talk about all of it across the board. But we're talking about leveling the playing field overall when it comes to countries. For example, on agriculture, when it goes over to Canada, there's a $220 tariff on us. When we go over there to compete with them, we can't. We don't have that when they come into our country. The same thing applies for liquors, cars, everything overseas. They have 100% tariffs on us. And it's like, wait a minute, like, okay, that's the game they're talking about playing. And it's debatable on whether or not that's effective or not. However, would it bring manufacturers back to America? Absolutely. It's in the process of doing it now. They're afraid that the tariffs are going to affect their business structures. So, you know, I'm arguing for the other side of this because this dude is seeming like he's only arguing for the one side. Now, the immigration part. Y'all know where I'm going to go. Like, it's like everything that he's doing right now when it comes to immigration, we know is bad, you know. I think. However, though, we just need to make, I'm gonna just say this. We need to make more of an effective system for immigrants to come into the country and become citizens. The system now is fucked. It's all over the place. It's complicated. However, though, we are a nation of goddamn laws. Like, so it's like, is he fighting for the fact to keep legal immigrants here? And if he is, how would we do that effectively where they can woven their way into society instead of having to stay illegal? Because it sounds like you're okay with paying them lesser amount of money to do these complicated jobs or farming and things like that. That doesn't sound fair either, you know, to some degree, even though I think some of them don't care, because the majority of the time before Bush kicked in, immigrants would take money from the U.S. and go back to their countries and build whatever they needed to build in their countries. But now, like, ever since, like, you know, Bush enacted, I don't want to go too deep in it, whatever, all the policies that he did, it made it more complicated for immigrants to just come in and go. Like, so, this is touchy. Like, this is touchy, but, like, it's weird. It's weird. It's like I'm not trying to be a Republican. I'm not, goddammit. But I'm noticing, like, the argument here that's, like, kind of ridiculous on the left. It's like, oh, no, keep them here so they can work for slave labor wages. Who cares? Like, you know, that we need them to work in the fields and the farms. Huh? Like, you know, huh? Like, you know, but at the same time, I do know the effect that has on the economy. It does help the economy than being here and then being willing to work those jobs that Americans wouldn't want to work because, one, they don't pay enough, and two, we're lazy. Straightforward. Like, y'all can argue with me all you want. Like, I don't think every American is lazy. Don't get it twisted, because at some point I'm probably gonna have to run for politics. And y'all gonna play back this video. And I'm not saying that, I'm saying that we don't want to do those kind of jobs. We're not lazy. We don't want to do those kind of jobs. So, what is Krugman trying to say? I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Krugman. Sounds
Story
like
that Krugman knows well.
Krugman,
His
okay.
Nobel Prize was awarded in 2008 for work on trade patterns. But he says the tariffs themselves might not be the biggest problem.
Consistent tariffs are bad, but not as bad as legend has it. Right? You know, everybody's said Smoot-Hawley caused the Great Depression. That's not remotely true.
No, it's
and
not.
If you run even Trump's tariffs as they stand at the moment through a sort of standard model, they will reduce GDP by something like half a percentage point in the long run. It's serious, it's bad, it does terrible things to U.S. credibility because we're breaking all of our agreements, but it's not a huge thing. What we've never had before is tariffs where nobody knows what the tariff rates will be next month, let alone, a year, 2 years from now. It's this complete, utter chaos. It's sort of the whims of the president, and then the question of whether the courts even allow him to do what he's doing, which wreaks havoc with business. Any investment that business makes right now has a good chance of turning out to be a really bad investment.
See? Now, that's where I'm okay, now I'm with Krugman. And honestly, he just said it, the quiet part out loud, right? It might not be a bad thing overall. May it make our relationships with other people? Yeah, it may fuck our relationships with other people, but overall, it might not be a bad thing. The bad thing is the confusion. This is where Donald Trump is a fuck up at. Are you going to tariff the country or are you not? Like you're throwing threats out there, and the consistent threats is what's confusing the economy here. People who are investors are like, I don't trust putting my money into something that I don't know what's going to happen next. That's the key component. I'm going to end it right there. Even though there's like 7 more minutes left in this video, but the camera's on like 2% battery and I don't want to lose it. So once it goes to red, then I just never know when the fucking shit's gonna cut off. But we can do this video again if y'all like it. We can debate economics all day. I love it. The thing about, again, like the thing about economics that I'm learning consistently is that nothing is set in stone because it's not been tried that often, because it could start a fucking war. If you put an economic system that crashes the economy completely, like it's gonna. So, like, for example, I'll give you, like, I got some time because it's still 2%, 2% on there. He just talked about something called the Swahili, let me click this off. He just talked about something called the Swahili tariff. And if you go look into the Swahili tariff, most people say that that was the reason for the Great Depression. And to some degree, it did have an element in why the Great Depression happened. It crashed globally, the economy, right? But there were other elements and factors in that too. But Swahili played a huge role in it. I hope I'm saying it right, Swahili or whatever, played a huge role in it, right? I'm trying to tread carefully, because there's so much there's so much you can say, but there's so much you shouldn't. And I hate this, man. Like, even people who are intellectuals can't have conversation nowadays because it can lead to something stupid in political conversation. Like, I'm not trying to fight for the left or for the right here. We're just trying to talk about the economics of it all. And maybe Krugman is not on any economic side, because he kind of did say both. So if I probably would let the video play a little longer, he might have, said both sides of the story. But who cares? Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. I'm just playing. I don't know. He just looks like somebody like I wouldn't be cool with. But I don't know. Like, I don't know him. I don't know him. He may be like, hey, I'll challenge you to an economic debate if you want to go there. Remember that one dude, y'all? I don't know if y'all were watching that one time when that dude was like, hey, I'll challenge you to a biblical debate. I'll challenge you to an economic debate. And then he came in and got washed. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all be thinking y'all smarter than me, because I be saying stupid shit to bait y'all in. I'll tell you this, because that's what I do. Like, there's a law of power. It's called play a sucker to catch a sucker, seem dumber than your mark. And when y'all come to these videos, y'all be like, bro, you say dumb shit. And then you come in the debate and you look stupid than a motherfucker. Because you have no clue who you up against. I can tell you that and know that none of you would still, because some of you would still think, even if you heard something wrong, well, you don't know what you're talking about. All right, well, let's go. Then we have the whole debate where we have somebody in there fact checking and you just, I'm done. I'm out, y'all. Peace.